Today's topic for discussion is description of Moringa oleifera. Moringa oleifera, it is a tree, and the common name of Moringa oleifera is drumstick. And the tree is fast growing and drought resistant tree. It can tolerate to adverse environmental condition. It is a food plant with multiple medicinal values. In India, the pods are used as vegetable. It is a fairly large tree with weak stems and branches. Next slide. How is the habit and habitat of Moringa oleifera? It is a deciduous tree. What is deciduous? Deciduous tree means the tree that shedding its leaves annually. Such trees are deciduous trees. It is a mesophyte. That means it requires moderate amount of water, so that it is mesophyte. And this tree, it is a very common in all the regions of the world, which are all the countries of the world which are situated in temperate region especially. And how is the root system of the Moringa oleifera? It is branched and thick taproot system is there. Again the presence of taproot system, that means it is the dicot plant. How is the stem of the Moringa oleifera? It is branched stem and woody, rough. Okay, next. Bark of the tree, it is brown in color and corky in appearance. What is bark? It is the outermost layer of stem and root of the woody plants. Bark is all the tissue which is situated outside the vascular cambium. In most of the countries where moringa is grown, the bark is commonly used as animal fodder. But in India, the bark is used in preparation of several types of traditional medicines. And how is the plant structure? See in the photograph, branches, drooping branches, leaves, tripinnate leaves, leaflets, etc. Next slide. How is the leaf of Moringa oleifera? Leaf is tripinnate compound leaf. What is tripinnate? Tri means three. Three pinnae are present in the compound leaf, tripinnate compound leaf. That means the leaflets are borne on the tertiary rachis. The main rachis produces secondary rachis on both the sides in pairs, and the secondary rachis again produces pair of tertiary rachis. The leaflets or pinnae are arranged on both the sides of tertiary rachis. Such arrangement of the leaf rachis and leaflets occur in tripinnate compound leaf. The tripinnate compound leaves are imparipinnate in case of Moringa oleifera. What is imparipinnate condition? That means the pinnae are uneven. Odd number of pinnae are there. Okay. At the end of the branch, at the end of the rachis, a single pinna is there. It has no pair. Such condition, that is imparipinnate. That is called as imparipinnate. And this is a tripinnate compound leaf. That means it is in moringa. It is a imparipinnate tripinnate compound leaf. Okay, next. This is a leaflet of Moringa oleifera. Leaflets, these are also known as pinnae, and these are very small leafy structures arranged on the both sides of the rachis. The number of leaflets may be odd or even. If the leaflets are odd, they are called imparipinnate. If the leaflets are even, that is described as paripinnate. Okay. If odd, then it is placed at the terminal end of the rachis. The leaflets are also termed as pinnae. Okay, just I told you. What is pinnule? Pinnule, the term pinnule is used for secondary leaflet of pinnately compound leaf. Next, this is the phyllotaxy. What is phyllotaxy? Arrangement of the leaves in the plant. It is described as phyllotaxy in taxonomic language. And this is the branch of Moringa oleifera in photograph. There is alternate arrangement of leaves. Okay, next. This is the inflorescence, flowering shoot of the plant. How is the inflorescence? See in the photograph. This is axillary panicle type of inflorescence. What is axillary panicle type of inflorescence? It is a highly branched inflorescence. The branches of panicle are often racemed. A panicle type of inflorescence shoot may have determinate or indeterminate growth. Okay, such type of inflorescence is described as axillary panicle inflorescence, and this is the complete flowering shoot of the Moringa oleifera shown in the figure, shown in the photograph. Okay, next slide. This is the flower of Moringa oleifera. It is a very beautiful milky white flower, and this flower is described as complete because all the floral parts are present. And this flower is also described as perigynous flower. What is perigynous nature? When the flower is having stamens and other floral parts at the same level as the carpels, such flower is described as perigynous flower. And the flower is bracteate because at the base of the flower a small leafy structure which is known as bract. Bract is present. If the bract is present, then the flower in taxonomic language it is described as bracteate flower. And the flower is having stalk-like structure which is known as pedicel. And if the pedicel is present, in Moringa pedicel is present, therefore it is the flower is described as pedicellate flower. And the symmetry of flower, the flower symmetry, it is such, this flower is not symmetrical flower. If you divide this flower vertically in any plane, two equal parts are not formed. Therefore this flower is not symmetrical. This flower, such flower is described as in taxonomy, that is zygomorphic flower. Okay. And how is the sexuality of the flower? When the flower is having androecium, that is male part, gynoecium, that is female part of the flower, when both are present in the flower, such flower is described as bisexual, or it is also described as hermaphrodite flower. Okay. How is the position of ovary? Ovary is superior in this case. Superior ovary is also known as hypogynous ovary. Okay. Why it is called superior? Because all the floral parts, calyx, stamens, corolla means petals, all are originated from the base of the ovary. Therefore the ovary is superior. In Moringa oleifera, ovary is superior. And thalamus is absent in this flower. Thalamus is not present, and color of flower is milky white. Next slide. This is the back side of the flower, very beautiful, looking like a doll. Next. This is the front view of the flower, and there are many petals. One petal is erect and all the remaining petals are diverted below toward the petiole, and it is a very typical shape of flower, and such a flower occurs only and only in Moringa oleifera family Moringaceae. Okay, this is the characteristic feature of Moringa oleifera. Next. How is the calyx? What is calyx? Calyx is the first whorl of the flower. There are calyx means there are all the sepals together known as calyx. There are 5 lobes of calyx. That means sepals are 5. In flower sepals are 5. Shape of the sepal is lanceolate, lance shaped. Okay, the sepals are free. Therefore in taxonomy it is described as polysepalous condition. Okay, sepals are green in color. Color of sepal is green. Aestivation is imbricate. Imbricate aestivation. Okay, and epicalyx is absent. Next. This is the corolla of Moringa oleifera family Moringaceae. The number of petals present in corolla are total 10, and the arrangement of 10 petals is 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 5 arrangement. And why this is 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 5? Because there is, see in the photograph, there is one petal which looks like a standard petal, but it is a very small, There are two pairs of wing petals, and there are 5 small petals are present below. And the arrangement of petals in the flower is in ascending manner, and it has given a typical shape to the flower. Hence, as per my observation, the form of corolla is baby frog shaped corolla. This has not been described in any book as a baby frog shaped form of corolla, but it is a typical characteristics of Moringa oleifera, and a flower appear morphologically, it looks like a baby frog shape. Hence it is described as form of corolla is baby frog shape. This is my observation, not given in taxonomy. And the color of the flower, it is milky white, and all the petals, corolla consists of petals, all the petals are free. When the petals are free, in taxonomy that is described as polypetalous condition, and estivation is ascending imbricate estivation. Okay, next slide. This is the androecium and gynoecium of Moringa oleifera. Androecium consists of stamens, that is male part of the flower. Gynoecium consists of ovary, style and stigma, that is female part of the flower. When both are present in the flower, then that flower is described as bisexual or hermaphrodite flower. Okay, next slide. This is the androecium of Moringa oleifera. What is androecium? That is the male part of the flower. It consists of stamens. How many stamens are present in Moringa? There are 10 stamens are present. 10 stamens are present, but 5 stamens are fertile. They produces pollen grains in the anther, and 5 stamens are sterile. The sterile stamens are known as staminodes. And the staminodes and stamens are arranged alternately. Okay. That means the stamens alternating with the staminode. Okay. There are 5 staminodes. Staminodes are sterile stamens. They do not produce pollen grains. Even the anther lobe is very small, reduced, and 5 in number. Borne on the staminodes are borne on the short hypanthium. What is hypanthium? It is a cup-like enlargement of the receptacle of flower surrounding the gynoecium. It is also called as floral cup or floral tube. Okay. And how are the filaments? What is filament? The stalk of the stamen is known as filament, and the filament is long, curved, and at the basal region of the filament hairy growth is there, and all the stamens are free, all the filaments are free in the flower. Such stamens are free. If the stamens are free, that is described as polyandrous condition. Okay. Anther is orange in color, and the anther lobe, there is dorsifixed anthers, because the filament is attached to the dorsal surface of the anther lobe. Hence it is dorsifixed, and anthers are, the stamens are monothecous. Okay, monothecous condition, one celled, monothecous. Dehiscence means breaking of anther takes place naturally after maturity of the pollen grains. The dehiscence of anther is longitudinal slit occurs and release of pollen grain takes place. And dehiscence of anther is, therefore dehiscence is longitudinal. Next slide. This is the gynoecium, that is female part of the flower, and in ovary there are carpel 3. That means the ovary is tricarpellate. Tri means 3, tetra means 4, bi means 2, like this. Carpels are 3. It is described as tricarpellary ovary. Ovary unilocular. How many locules are there? Only one. Unilocular. Okay. Style is long, curved. Stigma is club shaped. At the top of the style, stigma is there, and it is club shaped stigma. And inside and ovules are many ovules are there, and it is biserrate. Biserrate means they are arranged in 2 rows. And placentation means what? The attachment of the ovule to ovary wall, that means placentation. And what type of placentation occurs in Moringa oleifera? That is parietal placentation occurs in Moringa oleifera. What is parietal placentation? Parietal placentation occurs in bicarpellary or multicarpellary syncarpous ovary. The ovules develop on the inner wall of the ovary. The ovary may be one-chambered. Okay. Such attachment of the ovule, that is parietal placentation. And what type of ovule occurs in this Moringa oleifera? Anatropous type of ovule occurs. What is anatropous ovule? It is a completely inverted ovule which is turned back at 180-degree angle on its stalk, ovule stalk. Okay. And such ovule is described as anatropous ovule. Okay. Next slide. This is about fruit. Which type of fruit occurs in Moringa oleifera? Generally we call it as a pod, but it is not a pod. It is a capsule type of fruit. Okay. 3-walled fruit. There are 3 walls in capsule. It is an elongated capsule. It is also called as pendulous capsule because it grows in hanging on the branches and like a pendulous. Okay, that is a capsule, and split lengthwise. The capsule is very long, elongated, and that split open at maturity with lengthwise when it becomes dry. And this capsule is ribbed. It looks like a pod, but it is not a pod, and it is at ends of the capsule. It is tapering ends because it is a very long in shape. Okay. And exactly, the capsule is a fruit after maturity dry up and split open to release the seeds. Moringa fruit is a dry dehiscent fruit. Okay. Next slide. Thank you very much. Save trees, save earth. No trees, no earth.